What's going on, guys? So a huge trade went down in the NHL today, probably the biggest one of the season, involving the Columbus Blue Jackets, and it didn't have to do with Artemi Panarin, surprisingly enough. It was actually them trading for Matt Duchene. So Columbus sent over Abramov, who's a top prospect, Jonathan Davidson, a 2019 first-round pick, and a conditional 2020 first-round pick for Matt Duchene and Bergman, who's a decent young defenseman. So we're going to take a look and see whether or not this trade would go through in-game. Honestly, I think it's a lot to give up for Duchene, but if they end up going on a bit of a playoff run, I think it's worth it. Columbus has actually never gotten past the first round of the playoffs, so I think they're just thinking, like, you know, let's try and win a playoff series, right? And that was kind of my, thought process, too. I know a lot of people are saying maybe they would trade Panarin, even Bobrovsky, although less likely for Bobrovsky, but why not just hold on to those two guys, add to the team, and just see if you can maybe go on a run. This is one of the better teams, at least in terms of the lineup they've had in a long time. So I like the balls here, I guess, by the GM just to go for it. And as you can see here, in-game, Matt Duchene's a 27-year-old, 86 overall center. He's got exact top 6 forward potential. I'm pretty sure offline it's a medium elite, but it often changes in franchise for the older guys. He's making $6 million there for one more year, obviously a pending UFA. It'll be very interesting to see whether or not Columbus can actually re-sign him. If they re-sign him, maybe does Panarin stay? I heard they're actually no longer going to try and trade Panarin. They're just going to hold on to him again, try and maybe go on a cup run, win their first ever series. Obviously, though, if they do have an amazing offer coming, that absolutely blows them away. They'll accept it, but other than that, they're just going to hold on to him. So you can see Duchene here roll first line forward. Third overall pick back in 2009 by the Avalanche. Super fast player, sick hands, nice shot. Again, pending UFA there. And on top of him, they're also getting Bergman, who, like I said, a decent young defenseman. I'm actually surprised they even added him on. So 22 years old there, 73 overall, medium top 6. He's also a pending RFA. Roll there's Meyer, top 4 defenseman. He was actually a second-round pick by the Sharks back in 2014. I think they got him back with the Hoffman trade, I believe. So Columbus here again, though, giving up a lot. Abramov, one of their best prospects, if not their best prospect. 20 years old, 6'7" overall. Medium top 6 forward potential. Not too much value, though, honestly. I thought it could be even higher than that. Roll there, other forward doesn't really matter. They actually got him though in the third round of 2016, so very good draft pick. As he played very well in the Q, and again, obviously, he's still on an ELC, so he's locked up for a long time. And then on top of him, they actually got this other prospect. I'm not too familiar with him, I'm not gonna lie. Jonathan Davidson here, 21-year-old, 60 overall winger, medium top-minded potential, so nothing crazy, but he's decent. Let's see, he was actually a 6th round pick back in 2017, so Columbus is trading away, a couple late picks. Again, that's why draft picks are so important. You never know who you're going to get. Again, the 2019 first-round pick, it's traded away unless it's a lottery pick in the top 3. So chances are it is going to be traded in this trade. And then the 2020 first-round pick here is included if Duchene actually re-signs with Columbus. So I guess we'll try at first if he's not re-signing, and then we'll see if it goes through if he does re-sign. Chances are that there's almost no way Columbus gets a top 3 pick. It would be so sad. Duchene goes to Ottawa to play playoff hockey, and then they end up sucking. Then he gets traded to Columbus to help them make the playoffs, and then they just miss, get 9th or something in the East. I feel honestly so bad for him. So right here, it's honestly pretty close, but I think Columbus isn't giving up quite enough. And yeah, trade rejected. It is on hard, but honestly, looking at it even on easy, we'll try it on easy really quick, but we'll probably have to use that second first-round pick. Alright guys, we're now going to try this trade on easy. Also forgot to mention, Ottawa obviously interested in both Abramov and a first-round pick, as, they have a lot of value to a rebuilding team, which they are. Surprised, though, neither Duchene or Stone was actually on the block. Probably because we're doing this at the beginning of the season. A lot of times, if you get to the deadline and Ottawa's clearly out of a playoff spot, both Stone and Duchene are on the block, unless one of them has gotten a contract extension, as they are pending UFAs there with a good amount of value, so they're going to try and trade them for some picks and prospects. I can't wait to see what Stone gets back if they end up trading him just like Duchene. So we'll try this here on easy again. It probably still gets rejected, and it does. So I'll try now with the second first-round pick. Alright guys, so I just switched the difficulty back to hard and added the first-rounder in 2020, assuming Duchene signs an extension with Columbus. Now you can see the value is definitely on the Blue Jackets side. But Ottawa doesn't want to trade Duchene right now, so they might still say no to this, even though I think that's a very fair trade offer for Duchene. Let's see what they say. Trade is rejected. That's crazy. So we'll try now on a lower difficulty. Alright guys, so the Senators still declined this trade on medium. We're now going to try it on easy. I think this should go through on easy. Let's see what they say. Trade is still rejected. That's nuts. I also want to show you guys what Duchene's going to look like in a Blue Jackets jersey. Although you'll actually be able to see him playing in a Blue Jackets jersey tonight against his old team, the Senators. I think they play at 7, so an hour and a half from now. Kind of crazy, actually. So when Duchene got traded to Ottawa from Colorado, his first game for Ottawa was against Colorado, his old team. And now he just got traded to Columbus by Ottawa, and his first game for Columbus is against his old team in Ottawa. So kind of crazy. Right there you guys can see him rocking the Blue Jackets jersey there. Honestly, it doesn't look too bad. Sometimes like you'll see a player rocking a new jersey and it just looks off. A lot of times that happens like at the deadline with those trades, and then the guy does not stay. I'm curious to see whether or not he keeps the 95 he was wearing for the Senators. But again, Columbus obviously gets very dangerous with this trade for Duchene. I'll show you guys what the forward group's actually looking like. A lot of depth there for sure. Not sure if Duchene's going to play first line center or if that will stay Dubois, and he'll move down to second line center. Also, unsure about Wenberg. Just move down to 3C, make that third line better. They move him to the wing. So right now we have Panarin, Duchene, Atkinson as that first line. Again, could be Dubois on the first line, who knows. Second line there, you got Anderson, Dubois, and Foligno. Jenner, Wenberg, Borkstrand on the third, and then Nash, Dubinsky, and Duclair on the fourth. So a very, very solid forward group. You got a lot of depth there. Defense, obviously, Columbus already has a very solid defense. Werenski and Jones is the sick top pair, along with Savard and Murray as your second pair. Nunavera on the third as well. Like, they've got a lot of depth. Bobrovsky in net when he's playing well. I mean, I think they're a dangerous team if they can get going here for sure. And of course, like, even if they don't win the Stanley Cup, if they at least win, say, a couple rounds in the playoffs, which would be a franchise record for them. I mean, one round would be a franchise record, but as long as they win a couple rounds, you know, do something in the playoffs, make some noise, I think the trade's worth it. But we're now going to try the trade from Ottawa's perspective, and we'll see what happens. Before we get into the trade from Ottawa's perspective, guys, I first wanted to show you this. On the left is what Ottawa gave up for Duchene. On the right is what they're getting. Obviously, they actually ended up holding on to that 2018 first-round pick, drafting Brady Tkachuk. But obviously, none of the 2019 prospects have been drafted yet, so I'll pretend that they trade away that 2018 pick opposed to keeping it. You got Shane Bowers here. I've actually made in-game 64 overall here, medium top 6 potential, 19 years old. Now, there's a chance he could have just not signed with the Senators as a college free agent, but we'll assume he did sign with them, so they trade away, you know, his value there. Third-round pick, and then Andrew Hammond getting back, of course, Abramov, Davidson. And we'll say that Duchene extends with Columbus, so 2 first-round picks. Even still, you can see there at the bottom, the value is heavily on Ottawa's side. So even though they got a pretty solid return here from Columbus, the value they got was just too much, seen as it was either a 4th overall pick in Tkachuk, or this year, there's a chance it's a top 3 pick. At the very least, I think it's going to be the number 4 pick. I don't see Ottawa getting out of that last place in the NHL. As long as it's not like 1 or 2, though, and turns into Jack Hughes or Capo Caco, I feel like it's not too bad. Brady Tkachuk in-game has a ton of value, as he's already 81 overall, 18 years old, with medium elite potential. So I feel like in-game, Caco will probably have similar potential to Brady Tkachuk. Hughes will have even more, as, you know, he's first overall, whatever. But as long as it's, say, like 3 or less, ideally 4 or less, I don't think they made out too bad. But you can see there, they still definitely gave up way too much value. But we'll try the actual trade now with Columbus. Again, we'll try it without the first-round pick first. See what they say. And you can see here, Columbus actually does want Duchene, so that'll definitely help this trade go through. And then, of course, we'll add on Bergman here. So this is on hard difficulty, assuming Duchene does not extend. We're just asking for 1 first-round pick back. Honestly, I think it probably goes through just that first-round pick. Or actually, we should probably put the 2 first-rounders on first, because that's going to be way tougher to get through. And then we'll try with just the 1. So, I mean, yeah, with the 2 first-rounders, you can see the value there and way more on Columbus' side. So yeah, they reject that, but if we take away the extension first-round pick, does Columbus say yes? And they do, so there you go. Even on hard difficulty there, Columbus still says yes with the 1 first-round pick. So that shows that in-game, EA feels like Ottawa could have gotten a little bit more there for Matt Duchene. But again, if he does extend, they're getting an extra first-round pick, at which point Columbus says no. So basically, Ottawa just has to hope Duchene does indeed extend. It's kind of crazy, too. Like, Ottawa's actually trading Duchene right now at his highest value. This year has been his best year of his career, and they're still getting less for him than when they trade for him, and that was after he had, like, a mediocre year. So imagine if Duchene was doing as good as he did last year, or even, like, a year prior, where it was just kind of okay. They're very, very lucky he's having such a good year. I kind of feel bad for Senators fans. You guys might notice I'm wearing this Nordiques t-shirt here. I feel like this could be the new logo of the Ottawa Senators if things, you know, keep going down for them. But we'll have to wait and see here. Very excited to see what they get back from Mark Stone. I think that'll be the biggest trade in a long time. Like, Stone is so underrated. He's such a sick player. And looking at the return they got for Duchene, if they get something similar for Stone, they should have a lot of pieces here to finally turn that franchise around. Even though they were in an Eastern Conference Final 2 years ago, it's kind of crazy to think that, but still, yeah, things have not gone well for them the last, you know, couple of years. So we'll see what happens. Very excited to see the rest of these trades at the deadline. Aside from, like, the Stone trade, assuming Panarin does not get traded, I'll probably just have all the smaller trades in one big video, doing trade sims, giving you guys my thoughts on the Monday after the deadline. So stay tuned for that. And other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, leave that thumbs up. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.